So there's a minor 6 and a 7 and a perfect fourth, but no third. Yeah, there's no third. It's just all sussed out, basically. Both of the suspended intervals spread out over one chord. It's time for some video game music analysis. I don't pre-listen to anything, I pull them up live on stream, so you get to see my authentic reaction and listen to me figure things out as I hear it. You can catch me doing this live without any of the edits at case.dog/stream. First track is the Myst theme, suggested by Corgi in the chat. I do know this game. I've played the hell out of this game. I own like 4 or 5 different versions of it. I think the music has been wholly unchanged since the original. So I've heard this song a zillion times. Let's listen through this whole thing and then I will break it down. I don't know what that sound is, that big percussion. Ah. All of the samples are so lo-fi. The strings follow what it does. Those pizzicato strings. Pizzicato. So it's just building up right now with the big, ominous percussion. Sparse strings. And it rolls in. Crash. There it is. Have like an oboe, I think that is, with the pizzicato strings under it doing like a spelling the chords. It does up 1 octave and then drops down to do the bass. It's big timpani rolls. And that's it. The main theme of this is actually just in the last 30 seconds or so. Everything else is a build-up to it. I love this song. It is so sparse. There is so very little to it. It just evokes that era of like early PC games. So does that pizzicato thing change? The main melody is so simple. So let's focus on just the end here. Yeah. Okay. Then what does it do? Okay, so the pizzicato strings are sort of like alternating between, it keeps the same low B shape. We're in B minor, so it makes sure to include that B, that B5 that just lets you know this is the root. And it will step up to a minor 6, and then a minor 7, and then back down to a minor 6. And then it starts drawing a sus4. That good old B sus. So really, it's just kind of having the top note wander around the 5, while still keeping this power chord in play. And the root of that never changes. So the only real changing of harmonics you're getting are from this note that isn't the 5 moving. So there's a minor 6 and a 7 and a perfect fourth, but no third. Yeah, there's no third. I can tell it's minor because of the other intervals, but there is no actual B minor. It's very tense, very like almost suspenseful, and that's it. When the melody moves up, that's also the top note that the pizzicato switches to. And when it goes down to here, when it hits this note, that's when we finally get our minor third. But it's got a flat 13 onto it too, so it's... still funky. And this is actually a second of B, so the last chord that it ends on is also neither major or minor. It's just all sussed out, basically. Both of the suspended intervals spread out over one chord. 4 in the pizzicato, and then the lead voice doing a second. This is something that I love to see in compositions, when you never hit the triad, the 3-note chord of the root that you're in. It just sort of uses that tonality and hovers around it, but it never, on any instrument in particular, it never plays a B minor, and it doesn't use the B minor to resolve. It only resolves to this sus chord, which is great. I feel like like the melody almost implies different chord movement than what's there. That's definitely a B minor. That sounds like an E minor. That also sounds like a B minor. And that sounds like it could be an F sharp. That sounds like the chords that it wants to be playing. But the pizzicato line stays committed to that B5 and including it. And it's similar to the idea of a drone, where we've listened to some other songs before where there's just like a big going while there's other instruments just kind of, you know, dancing around it. There's some strings doing the same sort of 5, 6, 5, 4 movement I can hear. And that's it for the theme. Everything leading up to that is sort of just droning on the 5 and resolving to the B minor. Also using a couple instances of the minor third in the drone section. Hits you with that big MIDI cymbal crash and like weird pitch bended like that kind of thing. The main theme of Myst, although it's gotten stuck in my head forever, it's never struck me as like a particularly fascinating piece of composition. It's pretty limited, it's pretty sparse. There's only really 2 things going on plus the percussion. But for evoking the feeling that Myst is trying to get across, which is you're stuck on an island by yourself with a bunch of old buildings on it. There's nobody around you, and possibly magic is real here. And just the sensation and the tone as you step onto Myst Island is so well captured by this theme. And I love the Myst soundtrack. There's not a whole lot to it. It's all, you know, little string vamps right out of somebody's keyboard, recorded into a lo-fi computer interface, it sounds like. But it's effective, especially for the era that it was in. I would give this, because it could do more, it could definitely do more, but it does what it does well, and it's pretty cool to listen to. It's not something you can really go back and listen to, because the theme itself is only 30 seconds after the build-up. But I would give this a 3 out of 5. I'm gonna give it a rating. That's a half moon for me. And that was suggested by Corgi. Thank you for that, because I've wanted to talk about the Myst theme for a while. Even if there's not much to it, it gives me an excuse to. All right, how do you think I did? If you like the analysis, hit like. If you want to see more stuff like this in the future, hit subscribe and the bell to make sure you see when new videos go up. Let me know what you think. Is there anything you think I missed? Let me know in the comments. I would love the feedback. If you want to catch me doing this live without any edits, just figuring things out as I go, you can check out case.dog/stream and see when I'm live. And if you want to submit a song yourself, you can check out my Discord channel for it at case.dog/VGM. I'll see you next time.